Face awake and good beats loud, face reality. Never be charity. The enemy you're fighting covers all society. Damn right. Mommy's not here, gotta fight all night. Right here, shout at 10 o'clock direction. Seize the movement, destroys the nation. Rap slow motion, give him motivation. Freaked out now and dead on arrival. Round after round, spit out all over. Rhyme like a rolling stone, coming in crowd. Watch out, they move, they diss you loud. Guess what this sounds? It bombs whole grounds around out. Don't ease your pace, cause enemy's brutal. Moment of truth, there ain't no truth. You're the only one word, one love. But the battle goes on, shadows all mass destruction. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da. Told her to sit down or get down. I'm about to hit ground. When I'm on the box, my head's way out of this bounds. Nobody's stopping me. You know it damn right. Must have your love in me. Doing it all night. Keeping my friends close and my foes closer. Things getting messy, but I never live the nose up. As I get older, see things slower. My enemies looking like kids, and I'm the grown up. I'm the next masterpiece made. A new generation team A, working beast age. But I'm a listed nice guy. See, I'm a wise guy, not a mafioso, but a hustle like Mike. Lay low if you're feeling me. I take these beats, freaks go crazy with me. So put them up in the space with me. So shape with the man, L to the J's, no follow me. Yo. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da. Oh yeah, da 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 da, baby baby, da 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 da.
So many questions, but there's only one to be answered. Who are we? Who are we to chase what we were after? I thought that I knew. Yes, I was misconstrued. Starvation from success, I rose above the ashes. Was driving to impress, to appease the greater masses. Climbing higher, only to see a crooked empire. Two rocks, one together, nothing should last forever. Creations burn in the fire, awe-inspiring, my masterpiece. Our lives were lost to us, reduced to lines on a page. Our time, it costed us. What happened to the worlds we made? We lost the spotlight. No more old songs in the night. You always tried so hard, but you moved in a different direction. You should have pushed much harder. I mean, no ill intention. Climbing higher, never fulfilling my desire. Two roads, one together, questions, but there's only one to be answered. Who are we? Who are we? Who are we? Two roads, one together. Nothing should last forever. Creations burn in the fire, awe-inspiring. My masterpiece. Two worlds, one heaven. The faithful drown together. 30 years, don't you remember? Ink unfettered. My masterpiece. Are we? Who are we? Who are we? All I want is all I need is you. I said I need you, baby. Your face is such a work of art. I think I knew your love by heart. Never gonna fade away. I think you knew it from the start. I know I tore your brain apart. Never gonna fade away. Just wanna hear you say you love me. Your love's something I can't pull apart. I never knew to trust your love and arms until
Hello, everybody! Happy Thursday! Almost the end of the week. We're almost there to that sweet, sweet weekend. Can't wait to get that all started. Welcome one, welcome all. Hope you're ready for some gaming, because I know that I am. And I don't know why I decided to enunciate the words in that particular order or in that particular way, but apparently I did. But welcome, guys. We're back once again at the court, on the stand, but not about to be tried, from what I remember last time. We're still just kind of looking around at the scenery of England in the good old early 1900s. But like I said, I hope you guys are having a good week, and I hope you guys are ready for the weekend. Hello all to CB, to Neb, to all the lurkers out there as well. Hope you're all having a damn good time out there. Because I know I'm ready for some lawyering action. And some himbos. And some twunks. Whatever you want to call shows. Because some people call him a himbo, some people call him a twunk. I don't know. You be you, though. If you want to fight the archetype you made... Oh, that's right, you're making fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards there, Neb. You're using an actual ad that makes the custom archetype. That's pretty cool. What kind of archetype, I should ask, are you making there? Kind of curious about that. Ooh, you just finished the game this morning as well, CB. Well, congratulations. Did you finish? Yeah, I'm gonna follow up with Arthur's question. Did you finish the first game or the second game? So have you completed all of Chronicles now? Aha, you got the second. So you know everything. CB is the all-knowing of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, knows everything that happens. Meanwhile, here I am as a tiny little peasant, still getting through. Why did you ask me this? Sure. Okay, Switch. This is totally, I totally planned this, by the way. I totally planned that the system was going to update, so I had a chance to talk to you guys a little bit more before we started the game. It's called translucelles. Single-celled organisms based on certain... Interesting! Translucelles. That's an interesting concept you got there, Neb. Also, the fact that you are making fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards and making a whole archetype out of it. Good on you. Good on you. Oh, we got 2 people who know everything then. I should say 3, actually, because if I'm correct, M, you also completed the second game as well. Again, if I'm correct. I can't remember. I know you're a lot further in the games than I am, at least. Oh yeah, no problem, Neb. Yeah, if you want to post it in the art channel on the server, go right ahead. I'd love to see some of that. That's right! We were at a prison cell last time that we were here. Trying to see the next person we were going to defend. Oh, this should be fun. The Adventure of the Clouded Kokoro. Continue, please. Yes. That's right! So we have a Japanese man who is behind bars. And if I remember correctly, this Japanese man can do some intense facial expressions sometimes. So I'm excited to see what we're gonna get out of him. Oh, Pokemon Cafe Remix. I've actually been meaning to try that out just because it looks like a really, really cute game. Soseki Natsume. Wow. We go from one Natsume to another in a whole different game, guys. We have the Natsume who's an author and an asshole in one game, and now we have a Natsume who is apparently behind bars for a crime that he may have not committed. That's very true. This one isn't unbearable like the other Natsume we know. Oh my god, I have to voice act again. Holy moly. It's a cute game, but unfortunately, it's not good for a streaming game. Yeah. If it's anything, I would play Pokemon Cafe Remix on my off time. But it's really, really cute nonetheless, and it just looks like a really good stress reliever, too. Alright, voice acting. Soseki Natsume-san? What an unusual name. Call me Soseki, please. I'm a poet, you see. A writer of haiku. Haiku, I should say. It's something of a nom de plume. A nom de plume? You mean an alias? I can correct you on that there, Mr. Naruhodo. That's right. Whoa. No, no, no! Don't be so prosaic! It's much more refined than that! Damn, man. You're sweating up a storm. Be careful there. And haiku? That really reminds me of home. This guy's based on the actual... Ooh! He's actually based on the Soseki Natsume. IRRC. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I wonder if he probably wasn't as anime-like as this guy is. Or very expressive, but who knows?
Did I hear you say that you were a visiting student sent over here by the government?
Yes, that's right. A year ago, I was told to go and study English. First, I had to suffer that misery! Ooh, and now this! It's beyond the pale! He says as he grinds his teeth against each other. Suffer that misery? Did you not want to study here? No, I mean, I've had an interest in Great Britain for some years, of course. Oh. But! Boy, don't be punching those cells too hard, or else you're gonna get bruises on your hand. Just because the government tells you to do something, does it mean you can do it? No! I mean, it is called breaking the law, but you know what? Go off. We don't need to follow the law all the time.
What do you mean?
If they told me to study English literature, that I could have understood. That's my field. I don't know what English... But no! They told me to study the English language, not literature! Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable! I want this man to dab, at least once. Please. Please, just once. You see, only the other day, I was told to send a report about my first year here. I tendered a blank piece of paper, and instead, wise words on whitewashing! Okay, that's kind of a dab, so I'll take it. Dude, I love how expressive he is, and how he reminds me of Crocker. You know how Crocker and the Fairly Odd Parents always went like, Fairly Odd Parents! You got him right here. We got him right here. Oh my god. Oh. Hold on. You're right! We got the Pots of K hand! I'm proud of that. Sneak in your memes. Sneak in your memes. I love it. I love it. I love that so much. Haha! Got him.
What does Nata mean, Mr. Natsume-san?
Oh, apparently it is an English language thing. I'm not too sure if it's myself, but apparently it's all the rage.
Wow, you must be a man of great standing.
Oh, yes! His eyes were clear for just a second. So I'm often told. And often like to be told, it seems. So, the accusation that's against you, what'd you do?
Could you perhaps tell us exactly why you've been arrested, Soseki-san?
I didn't do it! I didn't commit that atrocious murder! Oh, we talking about the Irishman being murdered? Murder? Murder? Murder! The guy down the cell. Murder? Oh, no, it's alright. The woman didn't actually die, did she? Oh, wait, it was the woman, that's right. It wasn't the Irishman. It was the woman, right. But she was stabbed with a knife right before my eyes. I think it was clear, stabbed in the back. They call those a backstabber around these parts. Before your eyes? What, you mean you saw the attacker? Maybe. Gotta look behind me, make sure no one's looking at me, even though I'm in a cell all by myself. I didn't see anyone. What? If I'd seen the person who did it, do you think I'd be locked up in here?
Oh dear. It seems this case is becoming rather complicated.
Why me? Why me? Why did that silly woman have to be stabbed in front of me? It's the curse of London! It's incredibly, inexcusably, irritatingly inconvenient. No, I'm glad the man knows his Japanese words, at least. He does good on that part. So, Soseki-san was there at the scene, but he didn't see the attacker.
It's vital that we find out more about this case.
Yeah, about that. I need to know more. Oh. I did not mean to do that. When you get too excited and you accidentally push the button that you weren't supposed to push. Yes, yes, you had to suffer the misery because you wanted to know about English literature, not the English language, even though they kind of coincide with one another in a way. At least we get to see his moves a little bit more. Alright. Now, about the case! It was an accursed evening, just after the snow had started to clear and heavy with fog. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I'd been to the bookshop to buy some books, and I was on my way back to my accursed lodgings. Sure the bookshop wasn't accursed too? You wanted to throw that on there as well? As I was walking along that accursed pavement, I could make out the accursed soul's silhouette of a cursed another ahead of me. I want his favorite word to be accursed. Just stick it in front of every single noun that you can, my dude. An accursed woman wearing an accursed green overcoat she was. Just as I went to overtake the accursed woman... Oh, damn. She suddenly let out a little scream and collapsed onto the cold, hard slabs of stone at my feet. Interesting, okay. Oh, buddy, you alright?
How terrible!
Yeah, you can see the color is leaving his eyes. I called out to the woman, but she didn't move. It was like a ghostly, ghoulish, grim graveyard. Please, somebody put something in his hand. He'd be a really, really good salad bottle shaker, let me tell you that. Slight exaggeration there, perhaps. What's up, Em? I feel bad for the man, too. He was just walking along, then all of a sudden, someone just died right in front of him. Like, how do you react to that? You see someone dies in front of you, there's a knife in her back, and you're just like, what the freak just happened? I was terrified. I had to get away from there. So I ran as fast as my legs could carry me back to my accursed lodgings. That's not good. You don't run away from the scene of a crime, because then that makes you even more sus. That makes you even more sussecky. I hate how that can fit his name. Suseki. Congratulations there, Natsume. I might just be calling you that for the rest of the time now. Oh, if I'm in for a wild ride now, the way that the last case ended was something else in and of itself. So I'm more than excited to see what's gonna be going on here. They'll say it was shameful, I know, to run away like that.
Tell me, Saseki-san, since you are the suspicious person in this very intriguing case, was the victim an acquaintance of yours?
Don't be ridiculous, I say, as I go into my fighting stance. Do you think I know of any of these fair-haired English? And a young woman at that? I'm diffident, shy, timid, and So I can't talk to people! So you're an introvert. Okay, there's no bias in that, my man. Excuse me. I see. A young woman unknown to Soseki-san. And at the time it happened, who else did you see nearby? Did anybody pass you? Fix my bow tie. Regrettably, apart from myself and the woman, I didn't see a soul. No one? Oh, great.
So, the victim was unknown to you, and there was nobody else on the street at the time. That creates something of a conundrum, doesn't it?
I love me the word conundrum, everybody. Huh? No, wait, what conundrum? Well, we're just gonna have to ask him about the conundrum, aren't we? We're just gonna have to ask him. What do you mean, Susato-san? What's the conundrum?
Well, if that Soseki-san has just told us is true, there's something I can't explain. He says that he didn't know the victim, and that there was no one else at the scene.
Did you look at the rooftops? Because there probably somebody threw that knife from a rooftop somewhere. Also, hi John! Welcome to chat!
Then he apparently fled without having been seen.
I did indeed! I fled as fast as my feet could carry me! But if that's the case, surely this man has to be the culprit? Ah! You! Come here, I'll give you a 1-2! Open these bars up! I can punch you through the cell block, through the viewing block! Ha-ha! Am I excited for Kirby Forgotten Land? The game looks very cute, and for somebody who has never played a Kirby game, I will say it has caught my interest. It looks very, very adorable though, and like, it just looks really, really pretty as well. The graphics that we saw from the new trailer that dropped, ugh. All you Kirby fans out there are getting well fed. Well fed. I'll have to say that. The only game I really think I played was Kirby Air Riders, but that's like a multiplayer game. So I never actually played a real Kirby game and beat it. But Forgotten Lands does have me interested. What did you just say? I didn't say anything. I was only thinking. Nothing. I didn't say anything. Oh, please stop shaking your hands like you're a salad bottle shaker. Oops. Perhaps I thought that a little loudly.
Naruhodo-san, you are giving this man anxiety. Please. That's not what was troubling him. That's not what was troubling me, though. What I was thinking was, how did Soseki-san actually come to be arrested?
Okay, good point, actually. Sorry?
He didn't touch the victim, and there was nobody at the scene to see him. So how did the police ever discover that he was there in the first place?
Huh. Oh yeah! She's right. Would you mind telling us there, Soseki? It was him! Him? That accursed great detective! He led the police to me! You talking about my future husband? Is that what you're talking about here, Soseki? Of all the bad luck! Accursed great detective? Could it be the one and the elusive Goro Okechi. I shall never forget that man's name as long as I live! With his haughty laugh and his self-proclaimed greatness! Brass, big-headed busybody, begone! May you be cursed until the end of your days, Herlock Sholmes! That's my man right there! That's my man! I knew it! No, guys, he's as stupid as they come, please. He is very, very dumb.
Mr. Sholmes?
Oh man, Herlock Sholmes. Well, I didn't expect to hear that name from this man's lips. That's for sure. It was the morning after that nightmare had unfolded on the pavement before me. I was gnawing on a sliver of hard cheese. It was like an aged cheddar. It was very delicious. When some men suddenly burst in through the door. They started shouting at me! This is the police! Put the weapon down! Even though it was a tiny little cheese fork in my hand. Yes, it was a thin sliver, and yes, it was hard, but I wasn't eating a weapon! You don't know, sometimes that cheese can be very weaponized. I know from experience. Never choke on cheese, guys. It's not a fun time at all. Disgusting dietary discrimination, devils! As I thrust forward. You clearly had a trying morning yesterday. It was a gooey mozzarella right out of a mozzarella stick. See, the problem was me being dumb and too hungry. I took a very large bite of a mozzarella stick and tried to swallow it all down in one go. And then the cheese caught in my throat. And I started choking. In a restaurant, mind you. This was in a Chili's restaurant. Some 12-odd years ago. I had to get up. My dad performed the Heimlich maneuver. We got it cleared. And I was good to go. Welcome to Chili's. Would you like to choke on our mozzarella sticks? That's how you know the mozzarella is fresh and ready. And there he was, in the middle of all the policemen, grinning like a Cheshire cat. Are you sure? Are you sure you're not talking about this one here? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because he's sounding like that as well. That Herlock Sholmes. It's actually just Herlock. It's two words. It's two. He's English. I've since found out that he's a famous name in detection here in London.
Yes, the great detective is really very well known.
Aw, thank you, Em, for the 25 Poke Coins. I'm gonna put them right in my bag. Thank you very much. Welcome to Chili's free breadsticks. You can get those over at Olive Garden, but you can get some breadsticks at Chili's if you wanted to. And his overly sharp mind managed to deduce my whereabouts. Apparently, something about a deduction dance. I don't know. He thinks I'm the knife-wielding madman! Me? This weak, stooped kitten of a man? I wouldn't call you a kitten, maybe more like a Maine Coon. It's because you have very bushy eyebrows and a very bushy mustache. Oh, see, Arthur, that's the good, fresh kind of mozzarella that I like to eat. I love me a good mozzarella that's very wet, and usually it does come in a ball as well. That's the good kind of mozzarella. The one that you can sometimes even peel as well. It's so good. So good. Gee, I wonder what great detection process led him to his conclusion this time. Olive Garden still has their free breadsticks, yeah. They always have the breadsticks in the salad. It's their staple.
Do you mean to say that Mr. Shom's deduction was the only reason the police arrested you?
Also, that took all of, like, what, a half hour before we started talking about food in chat again? Every single stream, guys, every single stream, we always talk about food, no matter what time or how far in we get.
That would be really most unreasonable.
Well, the thing is, I was thrown into a panic when they barged their way in.
Well, of course you were. That's only natural.
I was terrified and trembling like I am right now, and they kept throwing question after question at me, in impossible English as well. Fiendish foreign film flammery! Calm yourself there. Well, we are in England. You can't really blame them for questioning you in English. Good point, but my mind went blank. I knew I had to answer, but I didn't know what to say. So I just kept repeating things like, yes, I do, and I'm fine. Because they're the only two expressions and sentences that I know in complete English. The next thing I knew, I was in manacles, and before I knew it, I was thrown in here.
Oh dear. I'm afraid that's hardly surprising.
I'm fine. He's not fine now. You see the way he was shaking his hands? Mr. Naruhodo Esquire! Yes, I see you're in your Mortal Kombat fighting pose. What do you want to tell me? Oh, you can just call me Naruhodo. And when we're speaking English, a simple Mr. is more than enough. Oh, yes. Alright, yes. They've really got to me. This country is poisoning my mind! It's in the water supply, isn't it? They poison the water supply, and it's getting into your mind, Sasaki. But please, I beg you to defend me in court tomorrow. You can tell them that really happened. You'll do it, won't you? Well, why? Why is it so hard to say yes to me? Because I don't know anything. Hi, Firebrand. Welcome to chat. Well, the thing is, I'm just a student like yourself, on a study tour. A student? I have defended a case in the Old Bailey. Only the one, though. And it ended, not too well. But we don't need to go into details. But at this moment in time, I really don't know what I'm supposed to believe in. I'm confused about what justice in this country even means. Oh no, here comes the self-loathing.
Oh, Naruhodo-san.
I'm not even the foreign student who was supposed to be here. Don't remind me of him, please. Please. I'm a sort of low-cum lawyer, I suppose. But that armband! That's the mark of a defense lawyer from our great empire! Great empire. We'll go with that. It's a keepsake from the man who should have been here. He was my best friend. A keepsake? Yeah, put 2 and 2 together there, Saseki. What do you get? I know exactly what they're saying about me.
Oh, who do you mean?
The lawyers. All the British defense lawyers. They won't defend me.
Goodness! Why do you say that?
For the same reason as you noted it for. When it happened, there was only the victim and myself around. And I ran away from the scene of the crime. See, that was your own undoing there, Soseki. You shouldn't have done that. You're a bit of an older gentleman. You should know better. I'm not a fool. I know it looks as though I must be the culprit. It must be very hard for you, Soseki-san. And anyway, I'm a student from overseas. I'm just a foreign nobody to them. Someone not to be trusted. I heard them openly laughing about me before. In my earshot, without any compunction at all. Any trial for this man would be a waste of time, they said, and of course the foreigner did it. Damn, what's wrong with these people? They even had the gall to say, the man doesn't understand half of what's being said anyway. That's awful. They're wrong! I've studied more English than half of the policemen out there on the streets. For example, did you know that 2 + 2 = 5? No, it equals 4. I'm a literature man, I don't do math! I've traveled halfway around the world to learn about these people's country and its great history! And now look at it! Everything is lies! All those books were a bunch of lies! All those articles were a bunch of lies! Just to hype up the fact that England is a great country! Gee, doesn't that sound a little accurate? But no one here wants to listen to a man with a strange accent. They all hate me. So at the very least, I'd like to entrust my fate to someone who can listen to me in my native tongue. Fair! You could do it, couldn't you? When I look into... Hold on. I need a screenshot. This in particular for somebody. Okay, good. Someone needs to see that later on. Yeah, CV knows what I'm talking about. CV knows exactly what I'm talking about. And only those select people who have really been around the channel and know the circle of friends and streamers that I know about it. When I look into your eyes, I can see it. I can see what you've been through. Heartache. Lots of heartache. Oh, and you were tried for murder about twice already. Soseki-san, it's just that... I'm half expecting someone to come over here and say, your time is up, foreigner! Give me a little time, please. I'll do what I can for the time being. What do you mean? Excuse me.
We shall investigate the case as thoroughly as possible. If we can find some clues, it will give us a much better chance, I'm sure.
Oh, yes. Yes, thank you! I'll be here all alone, waiting for you low-cum students, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. That's Mr. Locum student, Mr. Professor Dr. Naruhodo Esquire to you, Soseki. Please, make the title of my name longer and longer by the second.
We should be going then, Mr. Naruhodo-san. We have a case to prepare for.
Thank you, my man. I'm gonna present to you this armband. Please, please look at it. Please look at this. Look at this! Yes, yes! Symbol of one of our great empire's first-rate loyals. Which means, of course, you'll stand by my side. Oh my god, he does the anime cry thing, too. Amazing. Oh, no, sorry, that wasn't why I was showing it to you. I was showing it to you because it's a nice, cool feature on my arm. Then why else would you show me that? Oops. In hindsight, that probably wasn't the best idea. No, you're fine. You're fine. It was definitely fine. It was definitely fine. So how old is this man again? 33. Gotcha. Oh, that's right. Tobias Gregson is also someone that is with us for this case. The lover of fish and chips. Where he always reproduces his chips for some reason. I did not... No. We already presented the armband. We'll be fine. So, we're done in the prison. Let's go back to Briar Road. See what we can find around here. If anything. Aha! Speaking of the fish and chips lovers himself, there he is. What's the Japanese delegation doing here?
Oh! Inspector Gregson!
This isn't on the tourist trail, as I'm fairly sure you're well aware.
Yes, of course. We're here to investigate.
Him and his reproducing fish and chips. I wish I could have that power. Simply just to bite down on a piece of food, shake it up a bit, and then let it reproduce. Like, boom. So you've been to the holding cells, then? Huh, why do you make it the criminal?
He's not a criminal, as you put it, Inspector. He's a suspect.
I will see about that. You Japanese like to stick together, I suppose. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to put that fish and chips right there in my pocket and leave. Well, do what you will. Doesn't bother me. The bloke's in court tomorrow, whatever happens. The verdict's a foregone conclusion. Oh, I definitely believe there's some kind of porter in that newspaper somewhere. Stone cold air of rejection.
Take heart! London at this time of year is full of stone cold air.
Was I talking loudly again?
Yes, you were. You were talking very loudly again.
That makes it worse somehow. Aha! So I can talk to you now, detective. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna grab a little something in my snack cabinet. Alright. Scotland Yard.
Tell me about Scotland Yard, Inspector. Ever since I read about it in The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, I've been fascinated by the place.
The Yard is the most sophisticated policing organization you'll find anywhere in the world, ma'am.
Oh, and you know I've always dreamt of wearing a real Bobby's helmet.
She'd look cute in one, not gonna lie. I do like that he kind of does look like Luigi in some regards. I really, really do like it. It does make them look the part, seeing that policeman there with his helmet on. You certainly get the sense that this is a man who will take no nonsense in his duty of protecting the city.
Oh yes! Doesn't he look wonderful?
Being a Londoner, Bobby, is hard going, I can tell you.
Oh, really?
First thing in the morning, you know what he does? Goes round and rouses all the laborers on his beat so they can get off the work. I really would love to eat some of that fish and chips, though. It looks delicious. What? He wakes people up? Yup, raps on their windows with a long pole. Did it myself, going back a bit.
I had no idea.
Hey, but Bobby works for the people of the town. It's just another one of his duties. After that, he starts tirelessly patrolling the streets all day long. Up and down and back and forth, no matter what kind of weather. The British Luigi, or like to say Luigi. He has to cover 20 miles a day. That's the regulation distance. I can't really imagine how far that is, but it sounds like a long way. Galarian Luigi confirmed right here on the spot.
Let me see in my handy-dandy notebook. 20 miles. That's approximately the distance from Tokyo to Yokohama.
On foot? That's definitely taking things a step too far. And when it gets dark, of course, he has the most important job of lighting all the gas street lamps.
Oh my.
And I suppose in between all these duties, Bobbies are expected to investigate cases as well.
And chase after criminals trying to evade the law.
Or cause a ruckus. I'm not sure you could call it in between exactly. More alongside, but yes. They're expected to handle those jobs as well. We do have men keeling over from time to time, I admit. Concerning, but okay.
I'd always dreamt of wearing one of those helmets, as I said. But it's with a heavy heart that I shall have to relinquish that dream to you, Mr. Naruhodo.
You mean you don't want to walk 20 miles in the snow, right there, Susato? That's what she means. Oh, your heavy heart will be my heavy head if you do. My heavy head with your heavy heart. So yes, Gregson, about this case. Well, it happened at around 5 in the evening 2 days ago. Just there on that open bit of pavement. The victim, young woman, was stabbed with a blade from behind. You know, like a shanking, as you would call it. Is it right that the lady is still unconscious now? You mentioned that she's being treated in the hospital. I never said she was a lady. What? Wait, what do you mean she... Wait, what do you mean she wasn't a lady? Truth is, unless she comes round pretty smartish, we won't be able to find out much about her at all. I suppose that means they haven't been able to take a statement from her, of course. Yeah, just shove the chips back in your pocket, my man. Just shove it right in. There's a map of the local area I happen to have on me. You can take it if you want. Really? Are you sure? It's the odd policy to give lawyers defending suspects the odd bit of information to go on. I haven't actually accepted the job yet, but still, this helps me out in any way.
Thank you, Inspector. We gratefully accept.
Street map of the local area showing where the victim was found. Nice! Anyway, as far as we know, there was no one else on the scene other than the victim and your fellow countrymen. Excuse you? So who did it, do you think? Not much of a head scratcher, is it? Well, I know Mr. Natsumi is also claiming not to have seen anyone else around, but
just because he didn't see anyone, it doesn't mean we can be sure that nobody else was present.
Why did they not use the for some nouns in England? Instead of the hospital, and in the future, instead of in the future. To be honest, I don't even know that, CB. I have not even noticed that fact as well. I don't know, you got me on that one. If anyone else in chat wants to contribute, go right ahead. I'm sorry to have to tell you, but we most certainly can be sure.
How?
Because, ma'am, the precise moment of the stabbing didn't go unnoticed. Wait, what? I'm shaking my fist in your face. We have two very reliable witnesses, no less.
Oh!
It was a typical foggy London day, and your client obviously didn't see them. They were witnesses now? Witnesses? What? Who are these witnesses, Inspector? A fellow and his wife, and the man's one of the most reliable and respected citizens in all of London. He's a cop of Scotland Yard. Oh boy.
I say again.
A policeman? That might change things.
And this policeman just happened to be there at the exact moment the woman was attacked?
Nothing peculiar about that, man. Part and parcel of being a bobby. Catching them banging the act and all that. God, that was a lot of B words to say, man. Do you think it might be possible for us to ask that policeman a few questions? Maybe the wife as well? Maybe. Be my guest. You can ask him what you like. In court tomorrow. Oh. I've no doubt he'll be summoned as a witness. So, I'll give you something to look forward to. Yeah, that's that then. He's got no intention of letting us meet the man beforehand, it seems.
A policeman witnessed the incident.
So now this trial's gonna be twice as hard, right? As we're up against a policeman!
As your judicial assistant, I must warn you that this could make our job very difficult indeed.
Yeah, as a non-judicial assistant, I could have warned me of that too. But thanks, Susato. Thanks. Oh yes! One more thing, Inspector. What? The person who led you to the suspects. I hear that was one called Mr. Herlock Sholmes. What are you bringing him up for? Gregson, do you have some sort of business with the good detective? Are you not telling me about? Was it something I said? The color is strange in his cheeks. Ooh. Okay, before we get to the Sholmes part. That twitchy Japanese bloke goes on trial tomorrow. And you going to defend him or not? Well, possibly. I'm 60% sure, maybe more so 40% sure, but you don't know that. Makes no difference to me, but I will just say this. No London lawyer worth his salt would touch that case with a barge pole. Because the prosecution is being handled by the Reaper the Bailey. You mean? There's no way to save the man now. It's a waste of time trying. It is all a bit strange, though. Come again? What was strange, huh? The Reaper. He hasn't appeared in court once for a good few years now.
Yes, we did hear something to that effect.
And the only person he usually bothers with are the real scum. The master criminals, the violent ones. The ones that do a real 1-2 on some of the people around here. I don't know why I'm sounding like I'm from Brooklyn, but apparently I am. Master criminals?
The violent ones?
That's right! He handpicks his victims, and only deals with those guaranteed to go to the gallows for their sins. But Mr. Natsume wouldn't hang for what he's accused of! Surely? Surely? Oh, if we're talking about the Reaper of the Bailey, John, I have seen him. And he is extra AF. He's a great, great character. That's just my point, sunshine. Yes, the young woman was stabbed, but it didn't kill her. Couldn't even see the intent was there. So, this isn't the sort of case I'd be expecting the Reaper to want to sink his teeth into. You know, because he's a Reaper, he's like a vampire or whatnot. Haha. For want of a better phrase. Well, it's not exactly a minor infraction, is it? No, there's got to be more to it. Some reason he's taken an interest.
Really? What sort of reason, Inspector?
You think I can see what's going on inside of that head of the Lord of Darkness? Actually, it's more so he is the Prince of Darkness, thank you very much. You'll have to ask him yourself at tomorrow's trial. Are we really going to have to face the Reaper again? The Lord? Sorry, Prince of Darkness, as he put it. Yes. Now about Mr. Sholmes, like we were recently talking about. Greg said, what kind of deal, what kind of beef do you have with Sholmes? You know, other than the fact that he's pretty much taking your job. Who did you hear that name from? Oh, well, it was Mr. Natsume who mentioned it. But if you mean where I first heard of it, my judicial assistant was the one who spoke so highly of the good Sholmes, Gregson. He said that Mr. Sholmes was with the police when they entered his lodgings.
I'm sure it was the result of one of Mr. Sholmes' inspirational great deductions, where he dances very awkwardly.
Whoa. Fiddle! Faddle! Hold on, let me get my F's a little bit more pronounced. Fiddle! Faddle! The man's an amateur, and I'm getting sick and tired of him showing his mug everywhere. Oh, you're getting aggressive. Waving all your chips in my face? Hold on, let me catch some chips, please. I don't want these to fall. I don't know where he gets his information from, but he turns up at the scene of the crime. Wanders around spouting incomprehensible rubbish, and before you know it, he claims to have solved the case. Sir, your chips! Yes, he's quite astounding, isn't he?
He is a great help to Scotland Yard, though. Isn't he?
That's where you're wrong! When we get through the entirety of both the games, you really should take a look at the gallery and game. A lot of concept art and design notes. Ooh, I love me some concept art and notes. Thank you for that input, CB. Oh, no, now we switch first letters. Instead of fibble fabble, we have gibble gabble. Oh! Ever seen this before? Oh yeah, Susato loves that book. She was telling me all about it on the ship, which we were on for a good long time, and she would not stop talking about it. Oh yes, that's Rant's magazine.
The wonderful publication in which the adventures of Sherlock Holmes appears.
Hello, Chris. Welcome to chat. Fiddle faddle is indeed the worst curse word you have ever heard in a Great Ace Attorney game. Yes, well, that wonderful publication, as you put it, sees fit to include several of the odd detectives in his stories. And the so-called great detective makes a mockery of all of us. If you ask anyone at the Yard, it's a misadventure to be included in any Sherlock Holmes tale at all.
Well, I suppose there is an element of that.
We work our socks off, every one of us, only to be affronted by the public thanks to that obnoxious detective. The man's as dangerous to us at Scotland Yard as he is to all our criminals.
That can't really be true. Can it, Inspector?
Don't crush the poor girl's dreams, Inspector. Clearly, the great detective and the police have a, complex relationship, it seems. Well, I don't think we're going to get any more useful information out of the detective.
Mr. Naruhodo, can I make a suggestion?
Oh, yes. What is it?
Well, it seems to me that we must speak with him about this.
We gotta speak with him? The himbo? By him, do you mean Mr. Sholmes?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, exactly.
You're very excited to go and see him, Susato, as much as I'm excited to see him, Mr. Naruhodo. Look at those shining eyes. You can't wait, can you? We get each other. We get each other. Well, Mr. Natsume did blame Mr. Sholmes for all of this, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He really did, and that just butters and ruffles my feathers. Which makes him an involved party in the case. Are you just going to ignore that? I hope not.
I love the pouch she has there.
I assure you, it's not simply my selfish desire to meet with Mr. Sholmes again, but it kind of is. I want to say it's 60% my selfish desire because I love seeing Mr. Sherlock Holmes. Mr. Sherlock Holmes, I mean.
The trouble is... Oh. Yep. No. That's fine. I got you, Neb. I got you. Squirt bottle away. Oh, I didn't even feel anything from that. Oh, I felt a lot of that. Woo! Thank you for the spritz there, Nebby. Time to go to Baker Street. Susato, how do you know where he lives?
It's in the stories, of course.
Naruhodo to himself, why would you put where you live in your stories? That's giving away your address. Mm-hmm. Can't believe that Mr. Sholmes doxed himself by putting his address in a book.
221B Baker Street, the most famous address in the world.
Oh, I see. Well, there's nothing to stop us from going, I suppose. We'd better try to find our way there before Susato-san gets any more excited and unpredictable.
Hurrah! I'll summon a carriage.
So we're to have a reunion already. With the great detective Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I'm more than excited. Hey buddy, look at this thing I have. Inspector Grayson, can I show you this? Am I supposed to know what that is? I've never seen that insignia before. Oh, it's worn by defense lawyers in the Empire of Japan as a symbol of their profession. In other words, it's a worthless trinket here in Great Britain. Oh no, it's very important to me. It shows my spirit. What spirit? An English gentleman keeps things like his spirit very much to himself, I'll have you know. Oh.
Don't give up, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, it's too late. He's crushed my spirit already. I would like to examine this map, please. Alright. The Calabush Road is over here, and this is where the murder took place, right here. Mersham Street. Huh. Right. Interesting. Don't think I can... Yeah, I pretty much examined everything over here. And over here. Like the bent-up bicycle. And the slightly sinking, building there as well. Alright. Might as well go and move. To the Sholmes... Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Pinch me, I'm sure I must be dreaming, says Susato. Oh, I must be dreaming as well. Gotta get all nice and ready for my, date. Presents in front of Mr. Sholmes. Yeah, gotta look peachy perfect. My hair is all did. We're all good to go. Where's my himbo? Where's my himbo? Ooh, cutscene! Wait, wasn't it snowing? Wasn't there snow on the ground? Why is there no snow over here?
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
Good day.
Thanks again.
Oh my god. 221B.
This is it. The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
How quaint. How nice. Oh boy, about to barge in. Dun 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 dun! Mr. Sholmes! Dun 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 dun! Mr. Sholmes! Are you in there? Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, what were you trying to do over there? You didn't like, the next, rent bill, or the next electric or water bill? You had to stab it on the wall? Oh my god, look at that shoe. That's a neat looking shoe, gotta say. We got a mallet. We got a pair of glasses, some chess pieces. Huh. Interesting stuff you got over here, Sholmesy. What else can I peruse around here? The 19th of February, 12:53 p.m. Sholmes Suite. I cannot wait to see this man. I'm so excited to see him. I'm so excited to see him. So this is where the great detective makes his living. It feels surreal to be here somehow. Why isn't anybody around? Hello? Whoa! Yo, look at his little science setup! Hold up. Hold up. The man plays the violin. He has stolen my heart even more. I love me a man who knows how to play a good, mean violin. What the heck is that up there? VR? Why is it like there's gunshots through the wall? Or those stabbings? I can't tell. It is as described in the stories, Miss Susato. She's about ready to burst is what I'm expecting to happen. I love the setup though. Yeah, it's very steampunky. It's very, very cool. Susato-san? She's gonna cry.
Many famous cases have been solved here in this very room we're standing in, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, I suppose they must have been. Yes, indeed. I've never read the story, so it's hard to get quite as excited about it as she seems to be. Excuse me.
The detective chases the villain relentlessly as she disappears into the fog down an unlit London street. Oh, the thrill of it! The romanticism! Can't you feel your heart thumping in your chest? It's as they say, I hear my heart beat to the beat of the drum.
What do you mean by that, Susato?
Can't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yeah, I suppose I can hear, the thumping in my own heart, yep.
So, if you don't mind, I'm about to go and touch everything. I'll just stand here and soak up the atmosphere for a while longer.
Please.
Don't mind me.
She's obsessed. Her and I are having a big-time fangirl crisis indeed. Well, it looks like our detective friend isn't home at present. Then who let you in? If you're supposed to be in the suite of Mr. Sholmes' place, who the hell let you inside? He could not have had the... Oops. There we go. He could not have had the door unlocked. If that were possible, there would be more fangirls pouring in by the minute. Excuse me? Is anybody home? Oh, do we have a visitor? Oh god, it's a tiny girl.
Hello! Is it a big new case, sir, Mr. Sholmes?
You're tiny again. Hello? Wait. Aren't you...
Oh, how rude of me! I'll go and make some tea at once.
Bye? I'm sure it's the same girl. Mr. Sato, did you see the girl who was just here? My eyes weren't fooling me, right? Right?
Oh, yes. Isn't it truly extraordinary?
She's lost, guys. I'm never gonna get Susato back. She's lost in the steampunk world, in the world of Mr. Herlock Sholmes. I can't get her back at this point.
To think that the King of Bohemia came to this very room to ask Mr. Sholmes to take on his case.
The King of Boarium?
King Wilhelm Gottstretch Sigmason von Armstein, of course.
That's a lot of words to say. My god. Sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Forget the adventures of Sherlock Holmes for a moment and look over there. Look at the tiny child. There was a child who was making us tea. My god, this music.
The tea's brewed, and I have freshly baked cake as well. Ah, it's you.
I knew it. Susato-san recognizes her too. Flashback.
There you are. And taking that with you as well. I was looking forward to the trial run of my experimental smoke grenade launcher. Oh, good day to you. I'm, well, the inventor, I suppose, of that machine.
How old are you? Also, guys, I just want to point out, I didn't even notice this before. Look at the little key charm she has. It looks like it's her and Mr. Sholmes. And he's a rabbit. Mr. Sholmes confirmed to be a rabbit as a furry. Just saying, here now. Why did I make her sound like a gremlin? Because she looks like one. She looks like a gremlin. It's the girl who turned up at the end of Mr. McGilda's trial in the defendant's antechamber. Oh, there's a second person here? I've never met a lawyer from the Far East before. Oh, that's still her, sorry.
Poor you, having to get straight to work when you've only just arrived in London.
Oh, yes, it was challenging.
Well, try this tea. It's my special blend, you know.
Oh, thank you. Oh, was it wait, was it a bear? I'll have to take a look at it again. Is the tea supposed to look like that color?
Oh my, what a fragrant yet mellow flavor. Hurrah! It's a winner! I tried blending different leaves designed to alleviate fatigue, you see. You must be exhausted after your long voyage here, and you have another ticklish trial tomorrow.
What do you mean by ticklish?
Oh, and you're to defend a Japanese man. I do wish you lots and lots of luck. Did Mr. Sholmes tell you about us by any chance? Oh, you know Hurley, do you?
Mr. Sholmes? You, surely?
Mr. Sholmes was a fellow passenger on the boat that brought us to Great Britain, you see. Was he really? Oh, well, I had no idea. I'm afraid Hurley's out on an errand again today, even though he's just returned from overseas.
Wait a minute. We met this girl for the first time ever yesterday after the trial, and only briefly at that. How on earth does she know so much about us? Great question. 'Cause I was thinking the same thing. I told her nothing. Child, have you been spying on us? Did she deduce all those things, do you think?
And perhaps more to the point, why is she here in Mr. Sholmes' suite?
I will say, though, I love her outfit design. That's a really, really, really cute outfit she has on.
Oh, silly me! I haven't introduced myself, have I?
No! You've just been question marks the whole entire time, little lady.
It's a great pleasure to meet you both. My name is Iris Wilson.
Fitting. I like Iris.
I live here together with Hurley.
Iris, is it? What a lovely name.
What?
What's the matter?
No, wait. This can't be. Did you say that your name is Wilson?
What's the matter with Susato-san? Why is she so flustered all of a sudden? Is this Sherlock Sholmes Wilson? Really?
Yes, that's right. And what are your names?
Oh, I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, a lawyer from Japan.
Oh, sorry, I got distracted by your lovely gaze. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, Susato Mikotoba. It's wonderful to meet you. Lovely! Susie and Runo!
You're gonna call her Susie. I just hope, Susato, you don't get yourself an axe at all during the time we're playing this game and start to want to cause chaos of any sort. The totally not copyrighted version of Watson. Totally not. There's no connection at all whatsoever.
Susie?
And Runo? There's more to this girl than meets the eye. Like a transformer. Whatever that is. I don't know what a transformer is, and I don't know why I said it. I have so many questions for her, I don't even know where to start!
Yes, and so do I.
So, can I make you look at this nice little armband that I have? Iris, can I show you this?
Oh, how exciting! What is it? Tell me all about it.
Oh, actually, I was hoping you might be able to tell me something about it, if anything comes to mind.
Oh, why would it?
Well, no, I suppose it wouldn't.
Tell me! I want to hear everything!
This hasn't gone according to plan. You don't need to tell her about that anymore. You can just talk about Iris herself. So it was you that we ran into yesterday, wasn't it? At the Old Bailey.
Yes, that's right! You were so helpful. Thank you so much! Oh no, not at all. I'm so sorry we couldn't have been more welcoming.
Though at the time, we did have a rather large gun pointed at us, about to shoot a grenade into my stomach and explode into smoke. Yeah, that thing, but that's a lot bigger.
Like this? Thinking back now, you left with Miss Lestrade in tow, didn't you?
Oh yeah, that awkward witness, Gina Lestrade.
Oh, Jenny? Yes, she's a professional pickpocket.
So we found out.
It was very naughty of her to pinch my invention like that.
Are you referring to that trial disrupting gun-like contraption that she held?
Exactly! So I followed her, you see, to get it back. Perhaps I should think about fitting a self-destruct mechanism in my inventions.
How about no? This girl is dangerous. You know what? Hold on. Now that I know her name, how old is she? 10? She has a degree in medicine and is the author of a popular series of... What? This girl's doing more at 10 than I ever did. What the freak? How does she have a degree in medicine at 10 years old? What in the world? I am baffled. She's basically a Pokemon protagonist. Yeah, you're right about that. Oh god, young Sheldon be like, but she's a much better young Sheldon than the actual young Sheldon.
Anyway, I brought Ginny back here after that, so she could apologize to my trusty technician.
Sorry, your technician?
Haley, of course, silly!
Hurley?
Yes! Herlock Sholmes, we live here together.
So please tell me this is like a dad and daughter kind of dynamic, because I'm going to die if that is so. I'm going to die of cute and wholesome family times. I had no idea that the Great Detective have such an interesting young daughter.
Daughter? Oh, not likely.
What?
I wouldn't call him Hurley if he was my father, would I?
I believe it. I think I believe it.
Well then, what is your relationship with Mr. Sholmes? Huh. Well, I expect you found out that lodgings of any kind in London are very expensive. So, the solution is to share the cost with a partner. A room...
But you're 10! How is that possible? You're roommates? And they were roommates, guys. Oh my god, they were roommates. Oh my god, they were roommates. Can't believe it.
I hope you don't mind me asking, Iris, but how old are you? 10 at last this year! She says with the most confident of smiles.
Well, what of your mother and father?
Oh no, they're not around.
They're not around. Says all smiles.
Oh, you know, Mom and Dad, they're not around. They haven't been for a while.
Child, are you okay? Oh, I see. I wonder what the story is there. I wonder what the story is there. Whoopsies. Behind that smile of hers. So the name Wilson.
Oh yes, there's something I must ask you. Of course! Go ahead, Susie. I am a very great fan of The Adventures of Sherlock Sholmes and... Oh! You have a copy of Rance magazine! Yes! I read every issue. It's delivered all the way to Japan on a ship. Oh, this is so exciting! My stories are being read on the other side of the world!
Oh my god, she publishes them too, that's right. My stories?
That's right! Hurley is always solving such amazing cases, you see. And he tells me all about them. They really are quite fascinating. It would be such a shame if I was the only one who ever heard them, don't you think?
Goodness!
Last night he was telling me all about a new case he just solved on a steamship traveling from a faraway land. So, I was just in the middle of typing up the manuscript for the next issue before you came.
So you, tiny child, are the author.
Yes, I'll let you in on a secret if you like. I'm going to call this latest adventure The Speckled Band.
Very original, Iris. Congrats all around for your title. The Speckled Band? That's certainly very familiar.
Of course, I'll always change one or two details in the stories, here and there. Can't give legal names away, or else, that's a bad thing that's gonna happen to you guys. This time, I had the idea of making a venomous snake be the cause of all the trouble.
Oh! That was Mr. Sholmes' first thought as well, actually.
Yes! And of course, I know that a snake might not be a credible fit for the facts of the case exactly, but... it's a story! Some poetic license is justified to make it more thrilling, I think. Don't you?
So long as you're not plagiarizing anything, then you should be fine.
So, do you mean to say... are the stories about Mr. Sholmes that are published in Rance magazine are in very modern typewriter. But all the stories I've ever heard, I've ever read, are written by a doctor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson.
Susato-san's getting more and more worked up. Everybody back away. Everybody back away.
Ah, yes. That's me! I mean, my name really is Wilson. But what about the doctor of medicine part? That's all true too. I am a doctor of medicine.
Let me see your license. No! At 10 years old?
At 10 years old.
Naruhodo having a freaking midlife crisis when he's 28 years old. How is this 10-year-old doing more successfully than me? Well, that's quite incredible. Iris then oh boy. No, but the thing is she's a doctor of medicine, so she can literally, who knows? If she's a doctor of medicine, she knows how to prescribe people medications and such, and that's really interesting to think about, though.
But Dr. Wilson is an English gentleman. Ah, yes, English gentleman. I did alter the settings slightly for the stories to be more compelling. Oh! Well, it sounds a little strange, doesn't it? A great detective with a 10-year-old girl in tow.
I mean, that's true. Would anybody want to read that? I know I would. A detective and a 10-year-old girl. Sounds like shenanigans will definitely ensue.
I suppose it does. Yes.
Ah, poor Susato-san. She looks like her whole world has just fallen apart. Cut my life into pieces. This is my chocolate bar. So, the deductions that you just made now. Yes, let's talk about those. Since you apparently know a lot more about us than we even told you.
Yes? What's on your mind, Bruno? Do tell me!
How did you know that I was a lawyer and we just arrived in London? I mean, if Iris is the adult in the house, yes. Iris is the one who pays the bills, who pays the rent, who upkeeps everything. Meanwhile, Mr. Sholmes is just the wacky roommate. A 42-year-old man? Hold on, how old is he? I don't have it here. But he's somewhere around there, in his 30s, I think. 30s or 40s.
Yes. Oh, and that we have a difficult trial tomorrow. How did you know all of that? Oh, that's what you mean. Please, tell us how you did it. Explain every detail I must know. I must write it down in my notebook as well. Of course! I'll be delighted. Although there's really no mystery. Now, let's begin.
What?
Iris Wilson is proud to present her Logic and Reasoning Spectacular!
Oh boy. Whoa, we're put on the spot.
First of all, I knew already that you were a lawyer, Runo. After all, I met you yesterday at the Old Bailey in the defendant's antechamber.
So she does recognize the armband! But you also said that we only just arrived in London. How did you know that?
I observed a passport and travel ticket protruding from your breast pocket.
Oh!
So I was reasonably confident that you must have only just arrived in the country. And on top of that, you accepted a case against that particular prosecutor, telling me you were unaware of London's court affairs.
Mr. Dracula himself! The asshole! The Reaper of the Bailey!
I walked right into that one, didn't I? Then I noticed a red ink stamp on the back of Susie's hand. You were given that when you visited the local prison to meet with the suspect, weren't you? Earlier today. Ah! They use those stamps to keep a close eye on comings and goings, you see?
I didn't realize.
And a red stamp is only used for people visiting foreign inmates. So, that told me that even though you had only yesterday concluded the trial of Magnus McGillard, the two of you had already had cause to visit a foreign inmate at a local prison. However, neither of you was wearing a particularly sad expression on your face. So I concluded that the prisoner was unlikely to be a friend or a relative. That led me to believe that you must have accepted a new case.
I see.
But how could you have known that the trial is tomorrow? Well, you see, having barely been home a few hours yesterday, Hurley solved yet another case. It obviously amused him. He told me that he'd caught a Japanese man who was bawling and trembling.
A Japanese man? Well, clearly that must have been
Mr. Natsume. Now, Runo has that, fancy Japanese sword. And I think your outfit is called a kimono, isn't it, Susie? Huh, well, anyway, it was clear to me that you both come from Japan yourselves. So I put two and two together and decided you must be defending the Japanese man Hurley caught. And there was only one conclusion those facts could lead me to. Ba-ding! You both came here to ask Hurley about the case.
That's a bright 10-year-old right there. Holy freaking moly. You know your stuff, Iris. You know your stuff real damn well. And you're very observant. Those blue eyes are something that can be dangerous in this household.
See, there's a note on the mantelpiece that says the man's trial will begin tomorrow. Hurley is always stabbing his notes with a knife. You know, he is silly.
Why? Is this some kind of aggression you're trying to take out, Mr. Sholmes? Stabbing notes on walls? Sure.
And that's all there was to it, really. Thank you for listening. I'm Iris Wilson, and that was one of my great deductions.
I don't know about you, Susato, but we just got schooled by a 10-year-old. How do you feel about that? In shock? Me too.
Well, was it a winner? Were my deductions correct?
They were spot on.
That was amazing, Iris. Truly a great deduction.
You even managed to discern something of Mr. Sholmes' delivery. No, you're right. She's definitely the adult of this house. She's the responsible one, for sure.
Oh, well, I was just copying Hurley's style for that. This is really very good news. You could tell us all about the case involving the Japanese man. You will, won't you, Iris? Please.
The case of the Japanese man. Oh boy, let me tell you, doing a little girl's voice is hard work on the throat. Woo! Okay. We're good. We're good to go. Definitely need to get some more water soon. So, yesterday, Mr. Sholmes apprehended a Japanese man, you were saying.
Yes! Hurley had just arrived back in London after his sea voyage. But the police were waiting for him at the railway station to take him directly to the crime scene.
Ah! The great detective is a popular man, it seems.
Apparently, a woman was stabbed on a quiet street somewhere in town. There were witnesses who had seen a short, shifty-looking, stooped man running away from the scene. A short, shifty-looking, stooped man.
Mr. Natsume, beyond any doubt. Saseki-san said that he didn't see anybody else on the street at all. It seems there were witnesses, after all.
Hurley used his great detective powers to determine the man's address. It was a lodging room, very nearby. He went directly there with the police, and what did they find? A short, shifty-looking, stooped man, shivering in fear.
Mr. Sholmes' great deduction certainly hit the mark that time.
Of course it did. He's a great detective.
Still, that means the incident occurred only 2 days ago. Surely tomorrow is too soon for the trial, isn't it?
Definitely. We have no time to investigate properly. Hurley says that London is rife with crime.
Oh.
Scotland Yard is doing its best, but they can't stay on top of it apparently. Oh dear. I hadn't realized the situation was so dire. That's why they can't afford to spend too much time investigating cases and trying the criminals in court. Staff and money are both short. Crimes are usually pinned on the first suspicious person.
That's terrible!
I suppose it's the harsh reality of the workings of the world's greatest justice system.
Yeah, I suppose it is. But in that case, I don't hold out much hope for Soseki-san. Man, no hope in your client, I see, Naruhodo. Well, thank you for answering so many of our questions, Iris. This has been very informative, especially knowing you exist and who you are.
Oh, you're most welcome. I've had so much fun.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Sholmes is at the moment? As you guessed, we'd like to ask him some questions about this case as well.
Well, I expect Hurley is still investigating the scene.
Of the case involving Mr. Natsume, you mean?
Yes, Mr. Natsume? Hurley said he was going to the man's lodgings. If you leave now, you'll probably catch him there.
Iris, do you know where those lodgings are?
Well, I imagine the police are still investigating the scene of the crime themselves, aren't they?
Welcome back, Chris.
Did you happen to come across a detective by the name of Gregson when you were there?
Yes, we know Inspector Gregson, yes.
Goody. In that case, give Gregsy this from me, would you? If you do that, I'm sure he'll tell you what you want to know.
What is this, and why does it smell so sweet?
A 5-shilling piece and a postcard, it seems.
The postcard has been added to the court record.
It reads, "Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem." Gosh! This will make the inspector help us, will it?
Well, thank you, Iris. We'll give it a try. I can't believe the 10-year-old is telling us to do bribery. Okay, Iris, what kind of crimes have you committed in your 10 years of life? I want to know. I'm more curious about what you committed and what you made in the past.
Good luck then! I'm going to return to writing my manuscript, The Speckled Band. And I'll be making more special blends of tea, so come back anytime soon! We'd be delighted. Thank you so much, Iris.
I give her head pats. As she leaves, I give her many head pats.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo, it's back to the scene of the crime.
Wow. So, somewhat dubious that they would exert any influence over the men of Scotland Yard at all. We headed back to the scene with Iris's curious note and one of the world's heaviest silver coins in hand. Damn, this thing is weighing down my pocket! Ooh, to be continued. Ooh, yes, please. All right. Okie dokie. Actually, now might be a good time. I'm gonna take a small break, everybody, to grab some more water and to grab something for my voice. Because let me tell you, voicing a very, very energetic little girl who's 10 years old can do a number for you. It can also do a number for you that you are voicing literally every single character in the game. So, I'm going to do a little bit some more vocal warm-ups as well while I'm taking my break. I encourage you all as well to take a small break as yourselves. Go grab some water, go grab something to eat if you need, go to use the bathroom. We'll be right back. And when we are back, we're going to go see my husband. The good old himbo detective. Is that who we're going to see? I'll also put some music on you for you as well while I'm gone. So, I'll be back. Enjoy the tunes, guys. And grab some water and something else if you need to. Especially stretching. Go stretch. Do it.
I've decided I will follow my heart. Promise yours will always be right near me. What if you could take the chance to save a life? But you could only save them by losing everything. If I could go back and give up everything I had, I would never hide my scars for anything. No, not for no one. It's so hard to walk on water every day. If I fall, you know I would swim through oceans of my tears to be with you. Say goodbye, I don't have the strength to let it all end. I would give all and everything if we could mend. All I wanted was you to stay and not disappear. I decided I will follow my
Alright, everybody. Back. For just a moment to say I will be using the bathroom because, wow, suddenly I have a craving to use the bathroom. Oh boy, hold up.
It feels like every day I'm fighting for my life, but I'm never backing down. I'm gonna prove I'm strong for you. I don't think I'm afraid at all to lose or fail a fight. I was always so afraid I might be losing you. I won't say die, you won't ever see me running away. 'Cause this life, it meant more to me than everything. All I ask, sit right next to me and don't disappear. I've decided that I won't give up on my heart. I'm not strong for the power, the fame, or the glory. Those don't mean a thing. I just wanted to be stronger so I could hold you closer next to me. Even if I end up losing everything, I won't ever forget I had you. Say goodbye, I don't have the strength to let it all end. I would give all and everything if we could mend. All I wanted was you to stay and not disappear. I decided I will follow my heart. Promise yours will always be right near me. Even in the darkest night, I feel your heart. It lights my way. Light my way. We are living the life. With so much information. Come on, let go the remote. Don't you know you're ready on a jump for it? Turn us the road, the looking on the road, but I don't you say I've been consumed. Loading, quick, reach my capacity. Want it, gonna shoot again.
Okay, I'm back for real this time. I'm back for real. Y'all ever get those moments where you feel like, okay, I've done everything that I wanted to get. You got yourself a snack, you got yourself some water, you did a little bit of stretching, you went downstairs into the kitchen, you grabbed said snack, and then as soon as you sit down in your seat, all of a sudden your body says, hey, you need to use the bathroom now. Because that's what happened to me. As soon as I sat down, I was like, well, gotta use the bathroom. So, I'm back, I'm ready to roll, I'm ready to see my detective husband. I'm ready. I'm ready to see him. I cannot wait. I've missed this man. I haven't seen him in so long. I need to see him. Back at the scene of the crime, everybody. And more importantly, I got myself plenty of water. And a few cough drops just in case I need them. On Briar Road. It looks as though the police are still here, carrying on with their investigation.
Perfect. So let's find Inspector Gregson as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and let's see if he'll take a break from his chips to look at that silver tip Iris gave us for him. Hi! Do I converse with you? No, I don't converse with you. Sir, may I try a bit of your fish and chips, please? I know I've already had my dinner of a delicious and scrumptious chicken parmesan, but those chips look absolutely divine. Inspector Gregson, do you have a moment? Sorry to say I don't. I'm a very busy man. Much too busy to talk to a pair of foreign gadabouts, that's for sure.
We have these for you. A present from Miss Iris Wilson.
What? For me? From her ladyship? Oh my god. Her ladyship? Give that here! At once! Come on! Hand it over! That's for me! Oh, okay! Don't wait for me to give it to you, will you? Jesus! Snatches it right out of his hands. He drops his fish and chips to snatch it up. That's how you know it's real important to him. What was that coin exactly? A silver crown, obviously, but it's a lot more than that. It's, well, it's an appearance fee. That's what it is.
An appearance fee? Oh, I see. You mean...
That's right. For the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Her ladyship always offers me a little financial reward for featuring me every time.
Well, isn't that nice?
That's nice of her. Pay the inspirations of the characters in your story. Why not?
Yes, of course. I know all about your exploits, Inspector. I read them avidly.
Of course, using my name without any my say-so does make me the butt of a lot of unpleasant jokes. But still, I'm sorry, Inspector. That must be difficult for you. Never you mind that! So, what do you want to know then, eh? Well, sorry? Tell the gentleman in black whatever he wants to know. I trust that won't be a problem, it says. Well, obviously it's not a problem. Go on, fire away. What do you want to know? I want to know where you get your fish and chips, so I can try some myself, please, good kind sir.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, Inspector, not only does Naruhodo want to know where you got your fish and chips, but we'd very much like to know the address of Mr. Natsume's lodgings.
Ah, the little knife-wielding mustached Japanese fellow? He lives in a right hole novel. It's just over there, look. Wait, that? On the first floor of that house on the corner where that wreck of a bicycle's propped up. That's where he lives?
That is nearby, indeed.
So then how come I haven't seen Sholmes hanging out the window or something? Come on! If I remember rightly, the landlord is a Mr. John Garadeb. Right. Well, if you see her again, you'll make sure you give her ladyship my regards, you hear? I mean it. You tell her that Gregson sends his very best wishes! The best wishes possible, so help me, I will squish all these chips in my hand. Don't worry, Inspector, we will. No need to go squishing the chips. Chips didn't do anything to you. Well, goodbye for now then. And long live her ladyship. Sir, she's a 10-year-old. I'm just saying, she's a 10-year-old.
Well, at least he told us what we wanted to know before he left.
Yes, so then, shall we go see what we can find in Mr. Natsume's lodgings? I'm more excited to see what ridiculous position I'm going to find Mr. Sholmes in when I walk inside. Is he going to be hanging off a wall? Is he going to be hanging from the ceiling? Is he going to be hanging off a light? Is he going to be hanging off a table? Those are all the options that are extremely possible.
Definitely.
Well, might as well, even though, we can just, walk right over there. Examine the front door. See what's there. Ooh. Hold the phone. Hold the phone, guys. Guys? Why does that kind of look like Larry Butts? Do you see it? Do you see it kind of looks like an ancestor to Larry Butts. I'm not even joking. The facial hair? The hair up top? Hey Larry! We found your ancestors' portraits back in 1900 England. Oh my god, that's actually really, really funny. Oh. Hello.
May I help you?
Actually, may I help you? Ah, yes. Would this be the residence of, Mr. John Garadeb? Indeed it would, sir. And who, may I say, is calling? My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
Mr. Naruhodo is representing Mr. Soseki Natsume. I believe he takes lodgings here.
She had a smile for a split second. Ooh!
We would very much like to ask him some questions about our client.
A smile for a second. Okay. Miss Maid? One moment, please. I shall convey the message to Mr. Garadeb. Jonathan! There are people down here to see you! Get your lazy butt down here! Did you see that, Miss Susato? That was a real-life English maid! Oh my god, Ryunosuke, where are your priorities right now?
I know. As I understand it, anyone of standing in English society employs a number of household staff. But that was the first time I've ever seen one in the flesh. Oh, this day keeps getting better.
Well, it certainly feels like we've really arrived now, doesn't it? Can you believe it? A maid, Susato! An actual real-life maid! Your priorities, Ryunosuke.
We need only to meet a butler, and the experience will be complete.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd go that far, but I understand the sentiment. She's back. Thank you for waiting, Mr. Garadeb. We'll see you now. This way. Okay, but I keep looking over here at this cake, and I just want to see what kind of cake that is. I want the food, man. Ma'am, I would like the food, please. That's what I really want. Oh my god, sir? Sorry. Sir, your head looks like the crust of a moon. Oh my god. You can stab a man in 2 places with those spiky hair ends. Holy shit. My god. I want to examine this place, first and foremost. That portrait of Mr. Garadeb is glaring at me. I swear. It kinda does look like a croissant too, you're right, John. A very pointed croissant. Would anybody like a croissant?
Have you noticed that all the little frames contain photographic prints of Mr. Garadeb as well?
Yeah, and there seems to be a statue of a lion on the mantelpiece as well. Oh boy. Sir, why are you mixing your tea with your smoke pipe? Alright. What to give a gentleman, a British gentleman of high society standing? What kind of voice to go for him? What kind of voice to go for him? No, you are kind of right. I kind of see the point to croissant. It could be a high-class thing, too. Yeah, you're probably right. Let's try this. Yes. Seemed to come back from the local pawnbroker with that little trinket. Seemed to come back? What do you mean? The chap who runs the place is a Bali wizard. Went in to sell him something and came out with that thing. In point of fact. Now I think about it, I rather often find myself leaving the place with something I don't need.
The lion ornament certainly does seem surplus to requirements.
Susato-san doesn't pull her punches, or her throws, for that matter. Especially the throws. These medals.
That looks like a Medal of Honor, and it's showcased on a very grand banner.
Yeah, it's displayed with some pride, I would say. Although it bothers me that it's not straight. Ha! Me and Ryunosuke! Shake hands on that. What? That old thing? Sorry? Huh. I shall be glad to see the back of it. But the general would turn in his grave if I disposed of it. The wall's the best place for it. Keeps the bally thing out of my way. So it's just been polished to shine by accident, I suppose?
There appears to be an inscription on the medal itself. Look! Let me see. It says, "For distinguished participation."
Ah, good old participation awards. The ones that people hand out nowadays and say, you tried. Sounds like the kind of honors even I could be in line for. Well, one doesn't like to blow one's own trumpet. But I was given that for my time in the army. Let me stir this tea again with my pipe. Can't measure an officer by the number of medals to his name, of course. Common knowledge in military circles. That uniform looks fairly ancient, doesn't it?
It's clearly been well looked after, though.
That old thing? Pah! Not much better than rags. Really? No? All that ceremonial garb and my retirement bash, you know. But I'm not one for dwelling on the past me. Would have gladly thrown it out, but you know how it is. Anyway, doesn't hurt to have the old piece of memorabilia lying around, does it? Okay, I'm getting more of a Sean Connery vibe for him, so we're gonna go in the Sean Connery way.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps we should leave the past in the past. Correct? Yeah? Yeah, my dude? Yeah? Sure. That's a full-size cannon! What's it doing in here?
Oh my, it's real! I thought it might be a replica.
Pah, that old thing. Bah! That's little more than a toy. Sorry? The army was selling it off when I retired, so I decided to give it a new home. Never know when the enemy might attack next. Jolly useful to have a cannon about the house. Yeah, you know, if a burglar tries to come in, instead of having a gun ready at him, just have a cannon! Really drive the point home that, hey, if you steal anything from my house, you're not gonna leave here alive, buddy boy. Really? It isn't overkill? Be prepared! I always say, you never know what this twisted world is going to throw at you next. Boy! Boy! My boy! My boy. I got a cannon. Bitches love cannons. Dan Helsing abridged. Good shit.
Do you think there may be trouble brewing, Mr. Garadeb?
Ah, always is. Take Joan here. And if fails to have a clean apron on reserve, tries over the barrel, you see. They try very well on the cannon there, Joan tells me, which rather proves my point, I feel. It's been reduced to a drying rack. No wonder the huge cannon looks like it's hanging its head in shame. Poor, poor cannon. So what else can we search around here? Yeah, what about this thing here?
Look at that enormous screen. It must have been put there deliberately, surely.
Yeah, it certainly seems like someone's trying to hide something from view. Wait, you're right. There's a bookcase cabinet behind there. What could be behind it, I wonder?
I'm going to have a very quick look. Just a little peek.
Maybe let's not, Miss Susato. I think the maid is going to head us off with a cup of tea at this point. Also, what is... There's that thing on the... Wait, hold up. Hold the phone. Why is this section of carpet charred? I just noticed that. What happened here? And how comes I can't pick up that thing that's obviously laying there and looks like a candle? What you not telling me there, Mr. Croissant Head? Alright, anything else I can look at? Anything else I can look at me? Are those mortar shells? They're enormous!
Ah, I hadn't noticed. What are they doing here?
Ah, those old things. A couple of little rounds I accidentally fired into the barracks during training, you know. Became a bit of a colourful regiment folklore, that incident. You mean you deliberately hunted out the spent shells? Well, I wouldn't say deliberately, exactly. They're only scrap iron, after all. Usually just thrown away, I believe. But you never know when things might come in useful, do you? Useful for what exactly? Yes. Well, I dumped my pipe and my tea. Joan here did manage to knock one of the bally things on my foot the other day while she was dusting.
Oh no! Did your foot break?
No, it was just a fracture. Hadn't shed a tear since 1869 before then, you know. Maybe reconsider throwing them away? So you don't cry like that? Alright, seems that... Oh, hold on, we got a pile of books here. I noticed you have a pile of books here, Mr. Garadeb. Do you enjoy reading? Ever experienced a London winter, boy? The nights are long. No better way to pass the time than in front of the fire with a jolly good book. A jolly good book at that.
Oh, there's a copy of Ranced magazine here, I see. No doubt Mr. Garadeb enjoys the adventures of Sherlock Holmes, too.
The great detective has a great many followers, it would seem. So it would seem. Alright, I think that's all we can look at now. So... oh, I guess we can just, like, talk to them now. Good day to you, John Garadeb, at your service.
Pleased to meet you, sir. This is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. He's a defense lawyer.
Do excuse me not getting up. Took a shot to the knee a few years back in the Battle of Maywand. Don't know. So wait, then how did you get down here in the first place when you weren't here before we came in? Under medal for my pains, but had to withdraw from service. Handed over the reins to the up-and-comings. So he's a retired soldier. Couldn't tell by all the memorabilia around him. It's a hell of a job getting up and down the stairs now, I can tell you. Don't get out too much, as you can imagine. Yes, it's quite a climb up here to the second floor, isn't it? I was panting at the top of the stairs.
You really must take more exercise, Mr. Naruhodo. You're only in your 20s. You don't want to get all in the belly.
Do you think so?
Well, Mr. Garadeb, no doubt you were very courageous to earn yourself a medal.
Oh, it was nothing. The medal's just a full doral, really. Wouldn't like to offend the general, though, so I grudgingly displayed it on the wall. Why don't you fetch it down, Joan? Let these good people see it properly. Oh, God! Dash it all! We better be careful! I was honestly wondering for a hot second there if I didn't press any buttons when he was talking to me, if that teacup was going to overflow. And it did! All on its own. Oh, dearie me! I do beg your pardon, sir! Ha! You jolly nearly took the skin off my hands! I shall be more careful, sir. So, sorry about that. I got tea all over my lap, but, that's no point. There you have it. Living the quiet life now. Yes, I see. Now then, I hear you want to know about the chap lodging downstairs. Is that right?
Yes, we would be very grateful if you could answer some questions for us.
Only too pleased, naturally. Especially if it helps to keep the peace here in Blighty. Ha! We forged an alliance with the Empire of Japan recently, as I'm sure you're aware since you are foreigners after all. So this case is very much in the public eye, as it were. Oh, is it? Gee, I didn't really know. Even had some famous detective poking around, you know, in this old house. Would you believe it?
Yes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Would have been. Didn't catch the chap's name. Not really my cup of tea, all that detective business. Don't like it one bit.
Oh, but you have a copy of Ranced magazine here, so...
No! Anyway, the chap's investigating the foreigner's room as we speak. So he's in Suzeki-san's room. Let me go down, let me go down, let me go down, let me see my husband, let me see my husband! It's a bally nuisance is what it is. The whole neighborhood's twitching its curtains now. I don't like all this fuss. It's jolly unsettling. So tell me about Mr. Natsume, if you will, sir.
About Mr. Natsume then, Mr. Garadeb. Please, do tell us.
Ah, yes, the Japanese chap. Only been lodging here for about a week. Oh, just 1 week? So he moved in very recently, then. I have 2 lodgers most of the time. One on the ground floor and the one just below us. Well, the first floor became available a week ago, you see. There'd been... God damn you, woman! Dash it, old Joan, do be careful! Oh, my goodness, I'm terribly sorry, sir. You know what? His head is definitely croissant-shaped. Because the croissant's gotta go well with your hot cup of tea. It really does. If you want to know my opinion, even though you didn't ask me... Oh! I thought he was a shady sort for the moment I set eyes on him. Plap. Plap.
Oh? Why?
He seemed to have a most nervous disposition, always shaking and looking over his shoulder. Listen, he's just anxious. He's an introvert. Leave him be. The man had shady written across his sweat-soaked brow, if you ask me. I said to myself, John, that man is trouble. Sooner or later he's going to do something untoward. And I'm rarely wrong about anything. Well, we won't be calling this maid as a witness, that's for sure.
Was there anything else that struck you as suspicious about the man at all?
Ah! Yes! Oh, yes! Indeed there was! And she's dying to tell us. The Shady Lodger. Shady Lodger. Had you noticed anything else said all about your lodger, Mr. Natsume? Oh! Oh, my word, yes! The man was shadier than an orchard.
Shadier than an orchard? Could you please elaborate on that, Miss Maid?
Well, as I slapped my cheek again, take the man's room. Absolutely stuffed full of books it was. It is, too. More than anyone could ever read. And he never so much as passes the time of day with another living soul. I haven't seen a single visitor call. He just trots off to that old bookshop every single day and comes back at 5 to light the gas fire. Whew, and the funny little man is up long past the time everyone else in the house has gone to bed too. Oh, I see. Excuse me. The gentleman on the ground floor goes to bed at around 9 each night. But I've never known that Japanese fellow to retire any earlier than 2 in the morning. Hey, Mr. Natsume, you and I, man? 2 in the morning, people. Sometimes 1 in the morning. Ah.
Could you clarify something, I wonder?
What, pray, do you want me to clarify? As I said my voice like this.
How do you know so much about Mr. Natsume's routine?
Oh, my!
I'd understand that neither of the lodgers live on this floor of the house. Is that correct?
That's right, yes, they're both below us, on the first floor and street level.
Then, how is it that you know so much about the lives of your lodgers? The precise times that they come back in the evening, for example. Even the times they go to bed. Are you watching in the keyhole of their door when they go to bed each night?
No, not at all. how you've done that to me. Oh my goodness, sir! I'm terribly sorry, sir! Huh. Something doesn't add up here. Something smells sussy, in my opinion. Maid, can I have some of your tea? Maid, can I smell the tea, please? And I mean the tea liquid, not the tea that you were about to give me. It seems that the incident took place at around 5 in the evening. Did you happen to look out of the window at around that time? Hmm? The window? Yeah. Whoa! Wait, whoa. Oh, phone, what the heck happened over here? Did you break the wall or something? What is that oozing out of a jar? Pickled beets that are turned moldy? Ugh. Your best china's all broken now, too. Even the coffee kettle and the teapot. Oh, what? Wait. Wait a second. This candlestick is missing a candle. I think I'm stumbling onto something, guys. I think I'm stumbling on— ooh, cake! Look at the cake, guys! Mmm, delicious strawberry cake right there.
The incident took place on the pavement just on the far side of the street.
I know, poor Lumiere lost his left hand. He will have to go without it.
Was there anyone suspicious loitering nearby?
5 o'clock is dinner time in the Garradeb household. So I'm afraid I don't remember seeing anything. How about you, Joan? No, sir. It would have been dusk outside already at that hour. Hold on. Now that I know their names, are they going to appear in here? Yes, they are. A maid who works at the Garradeb household, her main duty appears to be standing at Mr. Garradeb's side pouring tea. We don't know her age. As for John, 46. So the maid is just as mysterious as she is when she appeared. Interesting. God, he's got such— do you see how skinny his face is? It is so pointed and jagged. Like, take his photo into Photoshop, try to widen him out a little bit. It's gonna look weird as hell. And with the fog as well, I should think it would have been quite impossible to see the other side of the road. Oh, I see.
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary then?
Such as?
Anything at all, even if it seems unrelated to this case.
Well, yes, was there something then? Well, it's nothing particularly significant, but around that sort of time in here— ah! For the love of God, Joe, watch what you're doing! Oh, dearie me! What have I done? I'm awfully sorry, sir. Do be more careful, woman! Of course, sir. The VA for Lumiere in the OG Beauty and the Beast movie. My sister was watching it when we were younger. Aww! She got the news that— oh, wow! Damn, that is sad. Sheesh. What a way to find out, too. If I may say, Mr. Naruholo. That's not how you pronounce my name, but yes, go ahead. I have an exceedingly good memory as far as I remember. Nothing of any significance took place here out of that hour. Nothing at all. Oh, really? Mr. Garradeb? The way you were talking before, it sounded rather like there might have been something. Oh, well, as I was saying, it was just a trifling matter, really. Nothing of— oh! June! Dash it all! What is the matter with you, woman? your pardon, sir. Nothing What is this maid? What are you hiding from us? Yes, quite. Nothing happened. We sat down to a quiet and uneventful meal, Joan? That's right, Mr. Garrideb. What is the matter with these two?
It sounds like something happened here in this room on the evening of the incident. But what?
Gee, I wondered if it could be the fact that there's a charred piece of carpet that's gone. I wish I knew. How about that room that you guys were talking about, eh? If you don't want to talk about what happened here that night. Could you tell us which floor Mr. Natsume's room is on? Why, certainly. Just below us on the first floor.
And Mr. Sholmes is investigating there, even as we speak?
Yes. Told me Nat's his name. Had asked him to look into the matter, so I gave him the key.
Mr. Natsume has engaged Mr. Sholmes' services?
That's a blatant lie right there. Would it be alright if we also had a look around? In Mr. Natsume's room, I mean. Don't see why not. It's just down one flight of stairs. Who knows if we'll find anything that could help us with the case, but we have to try. We need all the clues we can lay on our hands on. Shall we?
Yes. And while we're there, we can speak with Mr. Sholmes again. Perhaps he'll be able to tell us more. And I can see his beautiful, beautiful face.
Can I? I can't. I can't. But I can turn this way.
Oh, look. What a wonderful collection of cakes lined up on a gleaming silver cake stand.
Lined up? Looks more like someone has half demolished them to me. Afternoon tea is a time of indulgence, you know. It is quite the English way. It is Mr. Garrideb's custom to take 2 cakes with his tea. You know who would also need to return to a game? I want Old Bag. And funny enough, actually, my roommate and I were talking earlier today about the Ace Attorney games and the Great Ace Attorney games. And I just briefly mentioned to them the fact that we kind of headcanon that the judge in both this game and in the Ace Attorney game is kind of like the same person. He's freaking immortal. I want to say that the judge is immortal because he just doesn't age at all whatsoever. And even the judge in this game looks like the judge in the Ace Attorney games. So you know it would be hilarious is if we had an Old Bag in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Except she looks like slightly younger. So we can kind of cope out that, yeah, this may not be the same Old Bag as in the Ace Attorney games. Because she's younger, but she looks exactly like Old Bag. I find it funny. I would really love to have, like, an ancestor of Old Bag here, though. We call her Young... That's right, we call her Young Bag. Miss Young Bag. I like that.
That sounds delightful.
Oh, wait a minute, though. There are at least 10 cakes on this cake stand. Oh, well, naturally. And it would never do to waste the leftovers. So, whatever Mr. Garrideb does indeed, I say to myself, Joan, you shall have to tidy up. How magnanimous of you.
This old candle holder looks a little out of place here, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, you're right. It's clearly supposed to be gold, but it's almost completely black for some reason. I don't think... Yes, just a cheap piece of ironmongery. Gimcrack, really. Oh. Used it when I was studying, don't you know? For my commission. I know it's old, hardly worth hanging on to, really, but... Well, still has its uses sometimes.
Of course.
Does everything in this room have some elaborate story behind it?
They're memories, Mr. Naruhodo. Memories like the corners of my mind.
Susato, why are you suddenly breaking into song? Look at this crockery on display here. It's rather... unusual, isn't it?
Oh my, a genuine London dresser. Isn't it delightful? Although the shelves seem to be broken, and the crockery is... Oh dear, it's in pieces!
It really is. The word cracked wouldn't do that chinaware justice.
Ah, I wonder. Perhaps the cannon was fired at it.
Yeah, sure, probably something like that, but let's not delve too deeply here. No, of course not. Can't delve too deeply in the fact that we don't know why these things are smashed up. For whatever reason, we don't know.
This window looks out over Briar Road, where the young woman was attacked.
Oh yes, I can make out the policeman on the far side of the road investigating the crime scene. Listen, Susato likes to be imaginative, and I will let her imagination soar like that. She's a good little bean.
The glass is rather murky, isn't it? You can't see very clearly.
Does this thing open at all, I wonder? I should not underestimate the bitterness of a London winter, sir. Sorry? As soon as you open that window, the tea will freeze in the pot upon impact. No Londoner will go opening windows at dusk in the middle of winter, I assure you. Yeah, no northeastern person would want to open a window during the dead of winter as well. It seems very unlikely that these two would have seen anything of the incident then. Oh sure, yeah, make them believe that. I still want to... Something's fishy here, and I want to find out what it is! But I can't yet. We're gonna have to move downstairs. We're gonna have to move to Mr. Natsume's room then. Alright. Where's Sholmes? Kitty! Everybody, forget about Sholmes for a hot second. We have a cat. We have a cat. And the cat is more important. The cat is definitely more important now. Holy crap, though. The window is bricked. Why would you want to live in a place where the window is bricked, though? Look at the kitty. It's a calico. It's a calico. It's so cute. What? Just look at this place. And smell it. It's so musty in here. I suppose it's the mountain of old books that are responsible for that.
Mr. Naruhodo, please look behind me.
Why? What's behind you?
There is such a cute little kitten that is right there. I want to go and pet it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Susato, we have a case. No, you don't understand. I want to go and pet it, Mr. Naruhodo. Susato, we have a case to solve here, please. Ignore the sleeping cat.
I don't think I've ever seen so many books in all my life.
Yeah, no, me either. It's like he could start his own library in here. Sheesh.
It's so dark in here, too.
Alright, I just want to know where Sholmes is. Where is Sholmes hiding among these books?
Is that the window over there?
Well, it was the window, I think. Yes. once upon a time. But for some reason, it's been closed up with bricks and mortar. I am literally just looking at the cat. I'm not looking at anything else in this room except the cat.
So this is where Mr. Natsume lives. By the way, did you notice the cat? I haven't spotted Mr. Sholmes anywhere. Have you?
No, neither have I. Time to go see the cat. Exactly. Watch the cat be a vital piece of evidence in this case, just like the parrot was for DL6. No, that's true. But according to what Mr. Garrideb told us, the great detective should be around here somewhere investigating. Oh my god, where is he going to be? Cat! Everybody look at this cat. Everybody look at this cat right now. Give it the love it needs. You will pet the cat. You will pet the sleepy kitty. I swear it. You better pet it. You better do. God, look at it. It's so freaking cute. I love calicos, though. They're so adorable. All right, first thing to see, cat.
Hi, buddy. Hello. Oh, did you do a stretch?
Oh, no, buddy, where are you going?
Oh, my. What an adorable little cat. Perhaps he's looking after all the books while his master is away.
I don't know about that. He disappeared into that pile of books as quick as a flash. I'm so upset that I scared it. It was a tricolor Mickey, wasn't it? Do they even have that sort of cat here in Great Britain? You have 3 kitties in your house. John, I need you to go and pet all 3 cats right now for me. Because I'm not there to physically give them the love that I want to give them. You have to do it for me.
Perhaps Mr. Natsume brought the little creature with him from Japan.
That's made me feel homesick now.
Already? We've only been in the country for
We've been in this country for 2 days already. And it's been feeling like a whole 2 weeks. It does not feel like that we've been here for 2 days. Not at all.
Oh, look! It's a beckoning cat from home.
It's a bit big and bulky, isn't it? Surely Mr. Natsume didn't bring that Maneki Neko all the way from Japan with him.
I hardly think you're in a position to comment, Mr. Naruhodo. There is a sword attached to you. And are you forgetting the enormous Daruma doll that you brought in your luggage?
Well, it can be dangerous traveling abroad. I want a Lucky Charm.
Well, I imagine Mr. Natsume wanted the same. And this cat is sure to beckon good luck to him.
Well, it's not doing him a very good job so far, is it?
You mustn't say such things.
I didn't say a word. I only thought it. Stop reading my 9. Why are my eyes such a giveaway? Stop reading my mind, Susato. Let me think in peace. Look at all these books stacked up there. They almost reach the ceiling.
They're all works of English literature, and they all smell so musty.
With this volume of books to hand, you'd never be short of reading material, would you? How many overdue books do you have in here, Mr. Natsume? My gosh.
No, what a dreamy idea.
A bad dream, maybe. For me, at least. Oh, you have a black tabby kitty! Adorable, John. Absolutely adorable. Mind you, I don't imagine the book that's at the bottom of the pile now will ever be read ever again.
So reading it is an experience that comes but once in a lifetime, just as the tea ceremony teaches us.
I certainly didn't expect the conversation to turn down the path of tea ceremony philosophy. Surely you weren't expecting for there to be a cat in here as well, correct? Correct. Okay, so we looked at the pile. Let's look at the window. Could you even call this a window?
I think so. It was a window at one time, after all. Although all that remains is a frame around some bricks. So really, it's just a wall then, isn't it?
Isn't it? But why would anyone deliberately brick it up like that?
I'm afraid I have no idea. Ah! Perhaps Mr. Natsume painted the brick design on, excuse me, in a fit of whimsy.
That's alarmingly feasible. Anyway, whatever the reason, the lack of ventilation in here makes the place very oppressive. Like you're in a prison.
It does. I imagine being cooped up in a room like this would be extremely trying.
Extremely depressive as well, too. Let's take a look what's on your desk there, my boy.
That desk seems to be wedged into a crevasse between the mountains of books on either side.
I suppose Mr. Natsume would sit there and read while stroking his cat like an evil villain does. But surrounded on all sides by these towering old tomes. Surely he dreamt of books every night as well. Probably fell asleep on a book too. That was his pillow. The books are his pillows. The books are his furniture. The books are his bed. He's just made books.
Yes, he must have done, mustn't he? Oh, what's this? It's a receipt from a second-hand bookshop. Your books.
Your books. Not my books, your books. Oh yes, Mr. Natsume's name is on it. Look, and the date of purchase. 2 days ago at 4:45 p.m. That's the day of the incident.
That's just a short while before he was embroiled in the terrible attack. He must have been on his way back from buying some old books.
Did I slip that there in my inventory? Taking that, don't mind me. Of course, Natsume wouldn't mind. He's not here, after all. Alright, anything over here? Can't even look at the trash pile. Can't even see what's in here. Alright, checking my bases. Oh, alright. I did miss something. This appears to be some sort of meter on the wall here. It looks very robust. The heater, probably? Probably. I wonder what it's for. There's a slot for inserting coins here, too.
Time to get my handy-dandy notebook. I believe that is a gas meter, Mr. Naruhodo.
A gas meter?
Yes. It seems there is piped gas in this district, which consumers pay for by putting coins in the meter.
So if we were to put a coin in the slot...
that would be enough gas to use the lights and the gas fire for the whole night.
So if you're too poor to have a coin, you'd have to spend the night in the dark and freezing cold?
That's right, the dark and freezing cold, all surrounded by these books. As would a rich man who only carried crisp white notes.
Ooh, London is a scary place. You don't have money, you can't live. It's true for many other places, though. Okay, looks like... Ooh, oh, I can look down here. Look at all these balls of paper on the floor. There are notes scrawled all over them. In English. It looks like the waste paper basket is so full they've just fallen out.
I think Mr. Natsume must have been deeply immersed in his research, don't you?
Or deeply averse to tidying up his mess. Oh, same here, John. Glad putting a coin into your gas meter never caught up to this day and age. Thank God. Imagine having to put a whole, like, $2 or $3 or $4 worth of quarters into a machine just so you can have heat for the night. Ugh.
I wouldn't like to speculate which is closer to the truth.
No, you wouldn't? Alright. Okay, it seems like this is everything I have over here. I haven't missed anything. I got that. That looks like a kidnapping knapsack, which I wish I could click on, but I guess it's not important. Alright. I see there's nothing important over there, so I'm just gonna go back over here now. And do a thorough once-over once again, just in case. Okay, yeah, nothing. The cat's gone. There's nothing over there. And I got nothing there. Nothing there. Okay, let me look one more time over here. Yeah, there's just nothing over there at all. I think we can just leave, guys. I think we can just leave. Except Susato says, no, we're not leaving. We're going over here. We're talking to him. Hi, boy. Hi, boy.
Ah! Look! Mr. Naruhodo! He sits, he reads, in the candlelight.
What are you even reading over there, my dude? Ah! There he is! Slippery devil! Where did he appear from?
He seems to be engrossed in the pages of an old book. I hope he won't mind if we disturb him.
Or, you know, we can just, take a book for ourselves and just, casually sit next to him and be like, ah, yes. What's up, Sholmes? Don't mind me. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna be reading a book and, appreciating your presence with my presence here.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes!
Oh God, he's here! I wanted, that was lightning fast, man. That was lightning fast. Ah, you two, good day! I love this, man! Glad to see you back, my man. Now, let me see. Where was it that we met?
Oh, Mr. Sholmes, we were together on the SS Burya.
Yes, of course! The Burya! And let me see. What happened on that voyage?
Your problem, CB. You have yourself a good night.
It was Kazuma Asugi. He died. Tragically. In one of the worst ways possible. But you were a great help to us.
Ah, yes, but of course, the case of Mr. Asugi. It was the one with the snake, wasn't it?
Oh! Well, you seem to remember something of it, at least.
What an honor to be remembered vaguely by the great Herlock Sholmes. This is Mr.
Oh, no, my dear madame. Hold your tongue. I pride myself on my superior powers of recollection. Your names are safely recorded in my brain attic. Brain attic? Miss Naruhodo. Sir, yes. And Mr. Susato. He did it, guys. He got our names. I'm proud of him. Try the other way around, Mr. Sholmes. I lose the first round. God, he's precious. How's my boy doing? In truth, I had hoped to invite you both to my Baker Street suite the day we arrived in London. But some Scotland Yarders ambushed me at the railway station and whisked me away to a crime scene. It was an entirely trivial case, of course. I solved the matter in no more than 30 minutes. So they apprehended Soseki-san in that short amount of time? I'm afraid the pursuance of a new case has dulled my recollection of my past involvements a little. A little? Try a lot there, Mr. Sholmes. It is a mistake to think that one's brain attic has elastic walls and can distend to any extent. I do my best to forget useless facts, lest they should elbow out the useful ones. Yes, those are my own words of inimitable wisdom, you know, from an adventure entitled A Study in Scarlet. Please, there's no need to quote yourself, my dude. Please. I don't always remember my pearls of wisdom, but fortunately, my associate pens them beautifully. You mean the 10-year-old that you decided to adopt? Sure. He means Iris, I suppose.
Mr. Sholmes, we have some extremely important questions to ask you about the trivial case you just mentioned.
Oh, he's a troll, absolutely. But he's a damn lovable troll. I do like to think, though, he is kind of stupid in that way as well, though. Like, he's smart, but he is not that smart. Goodness, what an earnest expression. My dear madame, I should be only too pleased. And this murky room is an apt place to discuss the murky case. Yeah, after I got done examining the whole entire room with you, my dude. So, how was the arrest there, Mr. Sholmes? We know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Soseki Natsume. Or as some like to call him, Saseki. It seems that you were assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, for the stabbing of a young woman outside here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines.
But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little?
Was it, Sholmes? I'm sorry, Miss Susato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean.
What?
I can't believe he was looking Susato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not merely feigning ignorance. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh? How? I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your astute compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense. The good detective of Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity and whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. Ah, a man. A stouted man. Seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from that establishment in question. Yeah, we got it. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties, hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books. I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No.
Oh dear.
Yeah, oh dear is right. So, you want to tell me the landlord there, Sholmes?
Tell me, have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings?
Yes, Mr. Garadev, a retired military man.
It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the great British institution, that is, the services.
And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institute, that is... hospitality service! I didn't think it was that funny.
Oh, I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid.
So it says in my handy-dandy notebook.
I read as much in my Great Britain primer.
And so conversely, whether or not a household employs a maid has come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing? Sorry?
Put simply, my dear fellow, those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class.
Those who do not are beneath them.
In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employ enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary the rich and wealthy are.
Don't get too into it, though, Susato.
As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between the middle and the lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance.
I had no idea.
And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. Specifically in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garadev.
Oh?
Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something.
Well, I'm glad you caught on to it, as I have caught on to it as well there, Sholmes.
Whether or not it imposes on the circumstances of this case, I am as yet unable to ascertain.
I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. Don't you worry, you'll figure it out soon enough, Mr. Naruhodo.
This room is ridiculously and thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is to dwell in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. I mean, they've got practically mad, blocking the window as is. Mr. Natsumi has stabbed no one. But sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here.
Excuse me. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea?
No window.
Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window. Of sorts. Right behind you. But it's been completely blocked with bricks.
I see. Well, the answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax.
Window tax? What is that?
Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that. Oh my goodness! Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows.
Well, that's a bunch of BS, gotta say right here and now.
Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps, rapidly closed windows up. While the rich opened windows here and there and everywhere, in an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. So, some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. But its legacy remains, as you can see, in squalid lodgings such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinarily low price. No surprise there. Because the room is so awful, I should think. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. And he got all these books in 1 week? My gosh. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the accommodation. No? Still, that is of little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. But if you say so, Sholmes, if you say so. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Says Sholmes. I thought that was Ryunosuke. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remembered that, did you? He finally remembered something right about me. Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on an ambition realized, and so promptly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Sholmes, help me here, I'm having another existential crisis. Yes. Trust. An existential crisis. I've had those before. Mr. Sholmes. Mr. Natsume didn't do it, did he? Tell me from your mouth, my boy. Ah! My dear fellow, I haven't the first idea. Oh, but I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes, that was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. So you just came for the books, not for investigate. You know what? He has his priorities straight. And you gotta love that about a man. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled the scene of the crime 2 days ago was the Japanese occupant of this room. And there are witnesses who swear to having seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. And that then is the truth, indeed. Ah, and one more thing, since I have my finger held up. Oh, what is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us!
I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Daredeb is? Mr. Sholmes said as much before, actually. Didn't he?
Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsume's innocence.
No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probed a little deeper into Mr. Daredeb's secret.
Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. Ha! But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo.
And then he disappears among the books, never to be seen again. A busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. Can I see him? Is he over there? Is he over there still? Ah, he's a boy. He's a big boy. Look at the boy. Look at the boy. You go and you read your book, boy. You go read your book. You have a good time, boy. You have a good time reading your book. Alrighty. I believe... Let's save things here. I think this is where we're going to be... This is where we are going to be stopping for the night, everybody. Because let me tell you, I need to rest my voice. I can't do the voices anymore. I need to rest it real bad. Especially if I have another stream coming tomorrow. I want to make sure I'm prepped and ready for that. So, thank you everybody who has come along, who has watched the stream, who has supported in any way, shape, or form possible. Thank you for having a good time. Or at least I hope you guys had a good time. It was great getting some more Ace Attorney in. The case is going to get deeper out from here on, and I'm very much excited to see what's going to happen. So tomorrow, we're going to be starting up a new game. Very excited to be starting Psychonauts 2. That's going to be tomorrow's stream, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Same time, same place. But if I don't see you guys by then, I want you all to have a good weekend coming up. Have a relaxing weekend. Stay safe out there. And make sure you drink lots of water. Because that's exactly what I am about to go and do. Alright guys, see you later!